surrender to what the market is telling you. So this is, this actually looks pretty negative on the weekly. I was kind of saying, well, maybe if this goes against the daily, this head and shoulders, but we kind of had a key reversal, went back into the trend yet. So this is still looking like it could be, a bearish pattern here. But so you got this double top here and you got this little shoulder. You have a bit of a reversal yesterday. We made a high, went back and closed badly. So it's, it's got a lot of chop in this area to get through. So, if we still kind of keep finding a way to, test these lows, eventually, this, head and shoulders should break this way. But what I was saying, when something, so that's the way it looks. That's the way things should happen. So, obviously now, I have my own ideas and it's now looking what the market says. And so if the market, kind of, wants to do this and it kind of breaks cadence and it doesn't do what it should do, then, if it's kind of, my saying is, and this is kind of the fluidity and the adjustment that I've had to, learn to make over time is, surrender to what the market is telling you. And, so I just draw my structure. So this is my structure based on this, my expectations are for that. And then now I just watch and see how the market behaves. There is some area of support here and here that's kind of holding things up right around this 46, 47, we're at 51. So we do still have this area of, that it can play around in, but the more it kind of just, languishes and dies, the more it's likely to, keep going lower. But, if it breaks with cadence and starts going the other way, then that always alerts me that, there's another opportunity and, it could go very quickly. But the weekly doesn't really imply that. The weekly still looks pretty bad. So I'm just kind of watching it, dance in this area. And the more it kind of just dribbles here without kind of going higher, it suggests that it eventually will break that way. But, it's an interesting area. I'm looking at Riot and Coinbase and some of these, crypto proxies, if you will. So this is Riot. This also looks pretty negative on balance. You've kind of got this descending wedge, if you will. And again, these wedges can be, neutral patterns where, they test the bottom a whole bunch of times. And then one time it looks like it's going to test the bottom. And if it starts coming out here, it could do that. But this kind of doesn't look like that. It still looks pretty bearish where I see this huge reversal right at this resistance line. Yesterday, we had a bit of another looking thing. But again, now it's how does the market behave around this thing? Does it kind of put itself back together again today and, resist that downtrend and, keep trying to go higher? Or do we, start setting back here? I mean, on balance, this still, to my mind, looks like it should do that. But it doesn't matter what I think. I just now will look at the market, give it another day or two. And when we're not sure, you just give it some time because, again, even if you think it's, a short, it's still got to cut through all of these lows and all of this resistance. And it's going to have a difficult time doing that. So there's not a whole lot of room yet on the downside. I don't expect it just to break suddenly. But if it starts drifting down here, then I think it's going to open up, that kind of thing. Coinbase also had a move higher yesterday. And perhaps these are not all the same. They're all different kind of business constructs, but they're all around the crypto space. And, Coinbase actually ended badly yesterday, and maybe this is something that you sell into today on a higher opening. Right around here, you had this bad looking bar, which, it's like whenever you see that, it's usually not going to go back through there. So we hit this formidable resistance level, right here, got this top, And now you had this bad looking, key reversal. So now the question is, does the market dig in? Do we have just an inside bar and then it starts, creeping higher? So I think Coinbase is in a difficult area. Even if you short it, it's still got to go through all this stuff. And, so it's stuck in the middle. So again, I would give this a day or two to see how it sorts out. But on balance, it kind of looks like it's pointing down. And if you could get a much higher opening where we close at 315, let's see, it goes to 322 or something, I would short into that and use, yesterday's high around 330 as a, barometer. So where's Coinbase? It's going to open about $5 higher. So I'd be inclined to fire into that.
So you can see, 45 is 1.3 million.
$1.3 million short.
So pop out a profit for 118,000 there.
So you can see how this is going crazy now. You can see how the market just going nuts.
I bet like $1.6 million on this position. I'm showing right now $23,000 gain.